How's everybody doing today? I'm doing great. This is one of the best days in the market ever. And it's not because of Nvidia stock. It's about a little something else, which we're going to get into. So before we get going, can everybody hear me and see me okay? I'd hate to do this when you can't hear me. All right, Bob, Ellen, Frank, Jill K. Yes, okay. All right. Has anybody been on here last week when I was talking about this? Yeah, yeah. Did you see what happened today? Not with the stock. Not much will happen with the stock today, but something else is happening with the options. So we're just going to get right into it. Mandatory disclaimer. The strategies we're discussing today are designed to target cash flow from Nvidia. These slides are based on my opinion and forecast of the stock. In the 19 total trades since July 23, I personally won 100% of my trades, but I obviously cannot guarantee any future results with this strategy or any strategy for that matter, because all trading carries a substantial risk of loss. And please never invest with funds that you cannot afford to lose or that you're willing to lose. And some real talk here. I truly believe the strategy I'm going to teach you today is one of the most powerful strategies available to anyone in the markets. And I think the opportunity with Nvidia's stock split is one of the best setups we will ever see. You're going to see some eye-popping figures about the potential of this opportunity. But before we start this briefing, I want you to be real with yourself that losses in trading can and will happen. And if you cannot withstand a loss or you're trading with money you can't afford to lose, you really should not be in the market. So please don't assume anything you see today is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. You will always be the best guardian of your own money. So welcome everybody to the Nvidia stock split summit. It finally happened. Woo! I was waiting and waiting and waiting for this day, and here we are. Now, today will be remembered as one of the most significant days in stock market history because Nvidia had that 10-to-1 split, and that opened up a whole new opportunity for millions of mainstream investors who are going to play the stock. Now, up until right now, this money-making phenomenon was only available to the wealthy because you needed to have a bare minimum of 100 grand to devote just to this strategy to make it work. And fortunately, I've been able to make a killing off of it in recent months as Nvidia has been the top stock in my portfolio. Now, just take a look. Here's a few payouts that I've already made: 308, 260, 450, 1998. Hey, that's a lot of money. 2018 and another 1999. It just keeps rolling in. And today at 3 o'clock, we're going to have maybe the biggest one of all time. Right here, that's just $7,036 on just 6 Nvidia cash generation payouts. But wait till you see what happens this afternoon. And now, with Nvidia's new stock price, anyone with about 5K or more in a standard brokerage account can tap into this incredible anomaly, giving mainstream investors the exact same opportunity that the elites have been using for years. You see, over the last year, Nvidia has become the golden child of the Magnificent Seven and the most popular stock in the world for good reason. It's experienced a meteoric rise over the last 18 months alone. I'm sure you know that, and it's demolished the broad market and even other semiconductor competitors. Here's SPY down here doing nothing. Here's semiconductor ETF also doing nothing, which is why you never want to buy an ETF. It's too diversified. Then you got Nvidia, the cream of the crop, just totally blowing them out of the water. No comparison. Look at that. Now, of course, I'm not breaking any new news here to anybody. Nvidia has owned the headlines in Wall Street Journal, Yahoo Finance, News Ghana, Investopedia, everywhere. Nvidia has been the center of a buying frenzy like nobody's ever seen before. The daily volume on this stock trading is incredible. And it has nearly 50 million shares bought and sold on the average day. Average day, 50 million. But at over 1,000 a share, who was buying big chunks of Nvidia? It was not the hardworking folks like you and me. Not the vast majority of shares were bought by the ultra wealthy and the Wall Street elite. That's who bought it. But not anymore, because just a few hours ago, Nvidia shares were slashed by a massive 90% for the entire investing world because it had a 10-for-1 split. So every share that was trading where it was on Friday, now it's 10-for-1. So it's a tenth of the price. So there's no question that a lot of folks will use this opportunity to go all in on Nvidia stock, hoping to get rich quick. But I'm urging you, please don't make that mistake. Please don't go rushing out buying all the Nvidia you can get, because most investors have no clue. But hey, there's a much bigger opportunity at hand right now. And this is one I call the Nvidia cash generation blueprint, because that's exactly what it is. And while traders who follow the mainstream opportunity will have to deal with the volatility and uncertainty associated with stock splits, like what already happened with Nvidia after the excitement died down last week, thanks to a little-known options loophole, I don't have to guess where Nvidia's exact direction to generate these payouts. In fact, it won't matter whether Nvidia goes up, down, or sideways, because these cash generation payouts will hit my account no matter what. And of course, as I've already said, just like with any strategy, there's risk. So trades that don't work out exactly how you expect, that'll happen. But in my philosophy, even the bad outcomes with this Nvidia approach are great for me in the long run, which is why I absolutely love this strategy, especially when you apply it to Nvidia's stock. Now, in my opinion, no other strategy comes close to what I'm going to share with you today. And Nvidia just became the best opportunity I've ever seen in the markets. And our first trade to take advantage of will be today at 3 o'clock Eastern. You can join me as we all rake in some cash. And that's why I called this urgent briefing, because today I want to open your eyes to what I truly believe is a generational opportunity to tap into the hottest stock in the world for what is going to be incredible payout potential. Plus, place your foothold in the AI investing race with the top stock in the sector, all by taking advantage of my personal Nvidia cash generation blueprint starting today. Now, I cannot see future or guarantee results because the markets are unpredictable, but it's my personal goal to make $108,090 over the next 12 months starting today. You can come along. Now, I was fortunate to buy a lot of Nvidia over the years, and I watched it grow, so I'd be doing that with 30 contracts today. And most people will start smaller. I recommend you just start with one contract. But the heart of the strategy will be the same for everybody here today, regardless of how many contracts you use. And that's just one thing I plan to teach you today. So we got a lot to cover. Here's what we're going to cover. You might even want to get a pen and paper. I'm going to tell you about the dumb money mistake I think millions of traders are starting to make already, the unbelievable revenue truth of Nvidia's massive breakout, the real reason stock prices move, and the hidden 180 that traders can make to help turn the theoretical odds of 80% against them into 80% for them. That's critical right now. And my personal blueprint for trading the Nvidia stock split. So buckle up, Buttercup. This is one of the most important opportunities I think you will ever see. But first, some of you might be wondering, who am I? Who's this guy, Jack Carter? Why is he so jacked up on this? And why on earth should I trust this guy? Well, as I said, my name is Jack Carter. Thank you for being here today. You've arrived at a very opportunistic time. And you might have heard some of my colleagues call me the income ace because I like to trade for income. Now, see, when I started on Wall Street at Dean Witter in the World Trade Center nearly 40 years ago, nobody would have called me an ace back then unless they were pulling my leg because I was a rookie and not very bright one at that. And it wasn't some hotshot investor making millions every month. I wasn't making anything. The truth is, I thought I was going to be a hotshot, but I got burned pretty bad trying to play the aggressive options game, buying options, and I was getting killed. Just like what I think the vast majority of traders are going to do with this Nvidia split. I already see it happening. I'm going to tell you about this in a second. You're not going to believe it. Thankfully, getting burned like that taught me the most valuable lesson of my 40-year career, and that is how options really work. And after that, after getting my teeth kicked in and losing money I could not afford to lose, I became obsessed with doing exactly the opposite of what I was doing before, which was what most dumb money is still trying to do, even right now as we speak. It's happening. And the same thing I can all but guarantee millions of folks are lining up around the block to do with this historic NVIDIA stock split. Now, since then, I've been a NASDAQ market maker, a professional day trader, and a hedge fund manager. And I've moved over $1 billion through the markets. And fortunately, I made a great living. But by far, my biggest thrill has been leaving Wall Street, working with tens of thousands of traders across 40 countries around the world and exposing Wall Street secrets to help the little guy get their piece of the wealth building power of the markets. And in a bit, I'm going to teach you the secret I learned on Wall Street that helped me go from a Dean Witter dropout knucklehead to the income ace, because this one just busted wide open with this news of the Nvidia split. I see anybody who had a pulse since 2023 has heard about Nvidia, unless you've been living under a rock. This is probably the breakout stock of the decade. It is for me anyway. And since the start of 2020, the stock has climbed up 1,800%. But Nvidia is a lot more than just a hot tech stock. It's growing so fast, it just passed Apple as the second most valuable company in the world. And it already flew past Google and Amazon several months ago. Now think about that. This was a company making chips for games, gaming devices, like, I don't know, those games you play, kids play. And a company that almost nobody heard about 5 years ago is already bigger than Apple. And the best part is Nvidia isn't one of those hype or meme stocks. Stay away from that crap that rockets for a few months or weeks before it goes to zero. The tech superstars growth is real in Nvidia, because even while Nvidia's stock has grown 186% over the last year, its revenue grew at 265% in 3 months. That's a staggering amount. In fact, while Nvidia's price is skyrocketing and many talking heads are calling it overbought, which it is not, its price to earnings ratio is remarkably shrinking. Last time I checked, it was 69 times earnings, PE. Merck, the most boring drug company in the world, is trading at 165 times earnings, 145 times earnings, 149 times earnings. Nvidia is at 69. So much more growth coming. And that's shrinking almost as quickly as the stock is soaring, meaning Nvidia is actually a better deal at $1,100 than it was at $400. It's one of the healthiest companies we've seen in the history of the stock market. It even got an outstanding dividend grade. You believe that? Nvidia is a dividend stock now. Now just look at how these blue chip companies have grown over the years. Apple hadn't even grown 1%. Microsoft, 7%. Ooh. Amazon, 9%. Google, 10%. Meta, 11%. Now, that's not bad growth. But now look at Nvidia. 125%. See, it makes these companies just look like they're not even in business. Look at that. Now, which company do you want a piece of right now? And we're just at the tip of the iceberg. I already know you want Nvidia. Okay, now there's a reason Nvidia has become the crown jewel of my portfolio, and its stock price of over 1,100 for a single share reflected that for now. Now, of course, as soon as the share price drops by 90%, there's going to be a flood of new activity, which there already is. And unfortunately, a lot of people will react and get this wrong, okay? And I want you to get it right. I want you to crush it. Now, I'm sure hundreds of thousands of people are going to go rush out there and buy up as many Nvidia shares as they can afford to hold on to for the next decade. And even more folks are likely to load up on even more speculative call options, hoping to get their share of Nvidia's next wave of explosion. But in my opinion, this could not be a bigger mistake. Don't rush out there and buy tons of Nvidia stock. Definitely don't go out there and buy a bunch of call options, because there's a huge misconception about how these splits work that I think could crush thousands of retail investors. And I want to keep you from getting suckered in and getting crushed. And I'm even going to show you how to flip that misconception into a significant and immediate advantage. You see, most people think that a lower price gives a stock more upside. Now, think about it this way. Knowing nothing else, which stock would you say is more likely to double in price? Stock A at 1,000 per share, or stock B at $2 a share? I already know what people think. I have no doubt that 99% of traders would instinctively say stock B because it's at such a lower price. They think a $2 stock can double easier than a $1,000 stock. And that's exactly how I used to think back before I moved billions of dollars of volume myself. Now, that assumption couldn't be more wrong. And this is one of the most important things you're going to learn today. So take notes. I'm going to tell you this is just a fact. The price of a stock has nothing to do with how quickly or easily it can move. Plain and simple. The price has nothing to do with how quickly or easily the price can move. There's only one variable that actually moves a stock, and that's volume, the amount of shares traded that day. Now, let me repeat that because it's critical. The transactional volume, the buying and selling back and forth, is what moves a stock's price. Now, typically, stocks with lower volume are also cheaper, and sometimes they can move quickly because of the low volume. So we get this misconception about cheap stocks moving faster, but they don't move because the share price is low. Take a look at this. See, most people think that a small stock is small because the price is low, and a big stock is big because the price is high. But what they should be seeing is the truth behind stock moves. Small stock is small because the volume is low, and a big stock is big because the volume is high. For example, Apple, whose share price is around 196, is one of the hardest stocks in the world to move. Same with Amazon. And this isn't just my opinion. This is an economic fact. I'll show it to you here. And just take a look at the amount of volume going back and forth to change the price by a few pennies. Okay, this is millions of orders in a heat-seeking map that changes the price less than $1. You can see the volume in heat, right? Millions of shares, and it doesn't change less than $1. Now, these comparatively cheap stocks are the hardest in the market to move. So never assume that a cheaper stock is easier to move based just on its stock price. If you take nothing away else today, just never assume that a cheaper stock is easier to move based just on a price. So give me a yes in the chat if this is a light bulb moment for you, that a cheaper stock is not easier to move because of the price. It's all about the volume. Type in there, yeah. Let me see. We got a lot of smart people in here today. Good. And they're paying attention. That's what I love to see. Now, it's so important to understand that because many investors are still going to get sucked in on this misconception now that Nvidia has gone from $1,200 a share to $120 a share, that it can double quicker. That's not the case. And now that the stock split has hit, I'm seeing this action in real time today. It's already going on right now. Hordes of investors are rushing in to place speculative bets on Nvidia. They're buying call options. That's what I mean when I say speculative bets, because they believe it can jump more easily now that it's cheaper. Crazy. Now thinking that somehow, magically, now that the stock on the same stock has dropped, it's much more likely to jump from 100 to 200 than from 1,000 to 2,000. That's the thinking. And these people are severely mistaken. And I hate to put this bluntly, but when you hear about dumb money in the stock market, this is it. This is it. People think that it's split from 1,200 to 120 now, it can double easier. No. But that's the reason for this critical briefing here. So I get you on the right track. And all that dumb money is creating a historic opportunity for us to take advantage of today. Now take a look at what I mean. This is Nvidia in the months leading up to the split. And for the most part, it's a rocket ship, but it's also very volatile, capable of making big moves fast. Now, remember, volume. Now, it wasn't uncommon for Nvidia stock to jump $20 to $25 or more in a single day. Very common. Now, just look at all the times this happened. Let me show you. Bleep. Another. Boom, boom, boom. Big moves. Big moves. Look at this, big moves. Big ones. And that's a ton of huge moves, and that's a big reason NVIDIA is everyone's favorite stock right now. But remember, this is another good one to write down, this one here, okay? At 1,100 a share, a $20 move amounts to less than a 2% jump in the daily stock price. So most of these big jumps, they're relatively small stock moves. But with NVIDIA's drop to around 120 today, a lot of folks will be fooled into thinking the stock can still easily make those $20 or $30 moves in a single day, not realizing that they're making a near impossible bet on NVIDIA stock. They're already betting in the options market that NVIDIA is going to double in like 2 weeks. It's insane. But at 120 a share, a $25 price move amounts to more than a 20% spike in the price. Now ask yourself, when was the last time Apple, Amazon, Google, or Microsoft moved 20% in a single day? Never happens. And yet people are going to get suckered into this trap over and over and over again. It's happening right now. Now take a look at this data, okay? It's going to blow your mind. The most traded stock in the world right now is Nvidia. It's like Nvidia is the stock market. It's not even close. This was when the price was at 1,096, almost 1,100 a share, right? Individual stock, it blows them all away. Nothing even comes close. Apple used to be the #1 stock traded by volume. Not anymore. It's Nvidia. It crushes Tesla, Amazon, AMD, Microsoft, Meta, even Apple. And NVIDIA has seen 4.15 billion in trades flow in, more than double any other asset in the world. And just like I told you, folks are gobbling up NVIDIA calls nearly 2 times as often as NVIDIA puts. And we'd expect this ratio to be close to even. It's not even close to even. Look at that, 2.76 billion in calls compared to half of that in puts. That just goes to show you how many people are mistakenly just going out there and buying as many NVIDIA calls as they can afford, maybe even more than they can afford. And that's almost $3 billion in just call options flooding in on NVIDIA. There's $3 billion that you could get a piece of today, right? $1 billion. There's no limit to what you could take in today on this. And as you can see, NVIDIA already has an insane volume on speculative action. But what if I told you it's about to go into hyperdrive, literally exploding the potential for us to take advantage? You see, NVIDIA's split isn't really about the stock price at all. That's been the biggest myth in the media. That's what Wall Street and everybody else is telling you. The split on the stock, that's not it. I fully expect the options price to bring in a swarm of traders playing speculative options that dwarfs the number of investors buying the stock. Okay? They didn't buy $3 billion worth of stock today. They bought the options. Okay, that's why I'm saying, in this case, the tail's going to be wagging the dog. In fact, I believe we're going to see an option buying frenzy unprecedented in the history of the stock market. Now, we already saw this happen with the Google stock split, like I predicted 2 years ago. And Google, it didn't have 1/10 of the hype that NVIDIA does right now. And within 60 minutes of the opening bell this morning, guess how many call options were bought on the new NVIDIA? Within 60 minutes of the opening bell. We're barely into it. Guess, 60 minutes into the opening bell. Guess how many call options were bought on this new NVIDIA? 900,000 call options in 1 hour. You just blew my mind. I love Kramer. Look at that. I was saying this all last week, up until Friday at the close, that when this thing splits, the action's going to be in the call options, not in the stock. In 1 hour. I would not want to be an options market maker in NVIDIA or even in the stock specialist in the options either. You'd be playing a game of catch up all day long. They don't have 900,000 call options to sell. They're going to be scrambling. Now, here's what you need to understand, okay? The flood of retail investors lining up around the block to play these speculative call options in NVIDIA, they are setting themselves up to get smoked And I'm going to prove that to you this afternoon when we do our first trade. Why isn't they going to get smoked? Because along with overly speculative options buying comes extremely low win rates. Okay, options buyers mostly get their ass kicked. They mostly lose all their money 100% of the time, right? And they're out there buying billions of them today. Now, this shouldn't be shocking to anybody, and it's exactly how Wall Street wants the game to work, and most people are playing right into their hands. In fact, Bloomberg cites an assistant professor at London Business School who says that retail traders love buying options that have lottery-like features. Why is that? That's because call buyers want to get rich quick. They want to put $100 down on an option and have it turn into 10,000. That's what they want. That doesn't happen. But in other words, most retail traders are scooping up low probability bets like candy. Now, just listen to what Nitin Kamath, the CEO of the largest brokerage firm in India, said. We got the same thing going on here that they got going on over there. He says 80% of all open buy option positions at the end of every day are in losses. Yeah, chew on that. 80% of all open buy positions at the end of every day are in losses. Goes on to say buying options ruins most retail traders. He uses the word ruins, like they're done, they're cooked, they're smoked, they're over, because they don't understand the risk of leverage averaging down in impact costs. Then he continues, over my past 20 years in the market, I've interacted with many retail traders in various capacities, and one thing I've seen that leads retail investors to consistently lose money is option buying. Yeah. I'm trying to pound it into your head. Don't buy options. I hope you get that. Now, that might sound negative, but like I told you, I'm more optimistic about NVIDIA than I have ever been. Because for those of us who understand what's really going on right now, we can turn that disaster of all that call buying, we can turn that into a major opportunity for ourselves. And as I said, it's my goal to make $108,090 with this opportunity over the next 12 months. Starting with 30 contracts NVIDIA, starting today at 3 o'clock. I can't wait. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee that for myself or for you. That's my plan with a big starting position that I built up over the years. Your results could be larger or smaller depending upon your starting stake. And remember, not every trade is going to work out exactly how we expect it to, but the method could not be more straightforward. Here we go. I'm letting the cat out of the bag, baby. This is how you make money on NVIDIA. Not on the stock, okay? All you got to do is sell the options that these retail investors are misguidedly trading so frantically. And you can join me today in selling those options at 3 o'clock. Now, so theoretically, the 80% odds stacked against the call buyer becomes our 80% advantage. Now, options are a zero-sum game. It's just a buyer and a seller. One contract is just what they agree upon in terms of the stock, the price, and the expiration. 80% of the buyers lose becomes 80% of the option seller advantage. And that 80% advantage is before taking into account the historic stock split like this one, which is why I truly believe this is a generational opportunity to take advantage of selling overpriced options at what's going to be a massive built-in advantage. Now, hold on. Not so fast, my friend. Don't rush out there and start selling every option on NVIDIA you can do just yet, because you got to get it right. You got to know the right ones and the right expiration, the right strike prices. Now, you see, we're at a huge advantage knowing NVIDIA is incredibly unlikely to climb as much as many retail traders are betting it will. It ain't going to double in 4 days, and there's already bets that it's going to double in 4 days. It's so wild. But like I said, I fully believe NVIDIA is one of the best companies to own for years to come, meaning that while I don't have a crystal ball, I expect the stock price to rise steadily over time. And even with NVIDIA growing at unprecedented levels over the last 5 years, I still believe the sky's the limit over the next 5 years, because I believe, in my opinion, they're just scratching the surface. They're just at the tip of the iceberg of what NVIDIA is capable of doing. And that creates an even better opportunity for us if you could do this for the next 5 or 10 years. Now, it's the same opportunity I've taken advantage of for years already, including on Google since its stock split almost 2 years ago. And one of my top students, Michael B., he said he's made $16,115 with the Google Cash Generation Blueprint alone over the last 18 months. I got to just say one thing here. Every single one of you on here today has the exact same talent and ability that Michael B. has. The only difference is Michael B. took action. So if you're willing to take action today, you can see some great results. Michael even then added, he says, don't hesitate to jump in at whatever level you can. It's a high win, low risk way to bring in income regularly. I know we're not supposed to say this, but it's like printing money. He says it's like printing money. You want to print some money? We're going to print some money today. Now, Michael's story is incredible, and I can't say it's typical because I'd estimate he started with between 40 and 50,000, and not all traders will be that successful. But I believe Nvidia, with the retail mania surrounding it, is an even better opportunity than Google was on its best day. But until now, my plan would have cost over $100,000 in starting capital to enact this strategy on Nvidia. So that's why I called this urgent briefing today. And I've been dying to share the Nvidia Cash Generation Blueprint with my readers since long before the stock split was announced. And it's my personal game plan to take advantage of Nvidia during its next phase of growth. And honestly, it sets me up with a no matter what situation on Nvidia in the coming months and years. No matter what happens with the price in the next 12 months, I'm still going to make $108,090. So even if Nvidia stays flat, which I doubt, or goes down over the coming months and years, which I also doubt, I'm in a position to benefit. But the point here is that Nvidia doesn't have to go up. It could stay flat. It could stay go down. Doesn't have to do anything. I'm still going to make that money. But if Nvidia behaves as I expect for the next 5 years, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to crush the returns of buy and hold or any other strategy I know of. Just like what happened on in Google since its stock split. It's been nothing but money. So when that news first dropped, I held an urgent briefing just like this one about Google. And fortunately, hundreds of traders followed my advice and joined the Google Cash Generation Blueprint. And we've all made cash. We've had the opportunity to generate this cash on Google every month for the past 2 years. And I've had a ton of students tell me they've generated premium over and over and over again in their account for the very first time using the blueprint. Peter M. said he made 150, then 200. Carol E. said on her first cash generation trade, she collected $1,700. Hal K., he grabbed 200 from his first Google Cash Generation Blueprint trade. Jim P. said he collected 575 so far. Pamela W. cashed in for 210. David D. is up 360. Bill W. got 243 after learning the blueprint. Muriel said she got 254. Now, again, I got to tell you, every single person on here, it says that. All these testimonials, Peter, Carol, Hal, Jim, Pamela, David, Bill, Muriel, you have the exact same talent and ability they have. You just got to take action and get in on this. Now, obviously, that's some top feedback I've heard, but there's about 100 more folks who wrote into me saying they're making cash too. Now, listen, I can't promise any future returns, but I fully expect the NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint to do even better given the conditions we're seeing right now. That's why I'm hosting a live session Monday, June 10th, today, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, to explain the whole NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint. So today at 3, I'm letting the cat out of the bag. I'm going to take advantage of this overly speculative call buying. I'm going to sell some calls, bring some cash into my account. And everybody who wants to bring in cash into their account, it's on like Donkey Kong at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The whole enchilada. What's going to happen? We're all going to get on together like we're doing right now. We're going to do this at 3. We're going to look at the options chains on NVIDIA. We're going to pick a strike price and we're going to pick an expiration We're going to sell some options and we're going to see some cash flow hit our account. I can't even wait. I can't wait. I got to tell you a little secret though. I already kind of picked one out for us. So I will show it to you today at 3 o'clock Eastern. So join me. Now, I've been working on this since the moment NVIDIA announced its split. And I ended up creating an entire package specifically around this urgent opportunity, starting with our first live cash blueprint trade coming today. So at this first session, not only will you learn the entire NVIDIA blueprint strategy, but if you choose, you can copy and paste the first NVIDIA cash generation trade with me. See, I put my own money on the line. I put my money where my mouth is. I don't just talk the talk. I walk the walk. And you join me today, you're going to see how to make cash from this. That way, as soon as the NVIDIA split occurs, you'll have a complete understanding of how to trade it. And you're going to get a head start on targeting cash flow from this generational opportunity. But if you can't make the first session today at 3, don't worry one bit, because you're also going to get the full recording of every class and session we ever do posted in the private members area. You see that every class? What does that mean? That means we're going to get together every month, not just today. Today's just going to be the first start. Today's just going to be where we get our first money coming in. Today's just where we're all going to see some cash flow hit our account instantly. But after that, every single month, we're going to get together and do the same thing. And if you don't have time to dive into the full recording just that second, then you're still covered, because we're going to post a quick action summary after every NVIDIA cash generation class. We're going to post it in the members area. In the summary, we'll list out the exact trade details and a separate trade alert, so it's easy to find and follow, and then we'll notify you via email, text, and Telegram when it's posted. And just to make sure you have all the details to follow along with what I call the 5-time challenge, I'm going to give you everything. Now, why do I call it the 5-time challenge? That's a crazy name. Well, I've run the numbers on my blueprint, and I truly believe with just one cash generation trade per month, I can target an S&P killing 30% or more over the next year. Now, that's just one trade per month. That's the opposite of all the frenzy stuff people are doing, okay? It's not talking one a day or one a week. I'm talking one a month, and I'm still going to crush the market because of all the cash that's going to come in when I do it every month. And yes, you heard that right. Just one trade a month with a goal to do 5 times the entire broad market average return. Now, of course, there's no guarantees in investing, and I can't tell you for certain that I'll achieve my goal, although I will tell you for certain that I will achieve my goal because that's the way I roll. But the amazing thing about this cash generation blueprint is that my goal doesn't even require NVIDIA's stock to go up. How crazy is that? How crazy is this guy to say he can make 108 grand without a stock going up? How do you do that? Now, as crazy as it sounds, that's just how the numbers break down, and I'll reveal how that's going to happen today, okay? And I couldn't be more confident about this challenge because I'm confident. Now, let me recap. The NVIDIA cash generation blueprint. This is what you want to get in on right now. We're going to do live classes every single month where we all place the trade at the same time. We're going to pick it out. We're going to talk about it. We're going to look at it. We're going to look at options change. We're going to talk about why are we selling the option that we're selling. Okay. Then we're going to have a recording of every live class. If you miss the class, you could take the trade later that day. You could even take the trade the next day or even the day after. There's no rush to get in on it, but you do got to make a trade every month. And you could do the one I'm doing, so it's easy for you to know which one to do. And I'm going to share the quick action report after every call detailing the trade so you can follow along. You're going to love this. Now, these monthly classes are where I literally work through the NVIDIA cash generation blueprint in real time alongside you over the months we do that. That's the heartbeat of this program, to trade with me. But I also got a lot more cooked up for you as part of this special opportunity. Now, like I said, this strategy, it's going to be indispensable for the next 5 years. Listen, this information I'm giving you, this is not a luxury, okay? This is critical. It's going to be indispensable for at least the next 5 years as I expect NVIDIA's stock to be the crown jewel of most folks' portfolio. So I want to include my 5-year outlook on NVIDIA. They got more stuff cooking than you can even believe, and I can smell it from here. This is going to be amazing. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but this report will explain why I love the longer-term play on NVIDIA and how I personally expect it to grow during that time frame. And it'll also lay out the potential we have by applying this blueprint over the next 5 years. I got to give you a fair warning. Over the next 5 years, it's a big return that I'm forecasting, bigger than anything else. So here's everything you're going to get today. The live class every month, the NVIDIA 5-time challenge updates, the NVIDIA 5-year outlook, the full suite of notes and recordings from the classes in the master class. And this is a complete download of my personal NVIDIA game plan that you're going to get instantly today, like right now. But I'm also announcing something else as part of this remarkable opportunity. And it's a powerful way to help stack cash on top of your NVIDIA blueprint. Now, if you've listened to me lately, you heard me preach about dividends. I love dividends. It's the greatest wealth hack in the world. And I'll tell you about NVIDIA's dividend hack in a new report I'm going to give you with your membership free of charge today when you join, which is what I want you to do. Join today now. And you can scoop up shares of this ticker in that report as soon as you download the report if you choose. And if you like that one, I got another report you're going to love. You see, NVIDIA is a one-of-a-kind opportunity right now, thanks to that 10-to-1 split. But if you believe, like I do, that AI should be the centerpiece of your portfolio going forward, then I've got my eyes set on another way to play the AI revolution that builds on our outstanding NVIDIA blueprint. And I'm confident I could build a whole extra class around this powerful stock. But founding members in the NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint, they won't have to wait. They get it right now. They'll read all about it inside my brand new, never before released AI Double Dip report. And I love the stock that you're going to read about in this report. And it's not as hyped and it doesn't have nearly as much volume as NVIDIA has, which means it could be perfect for one particular type of slow and steady cash generating trade. And I'll tell you all about it in the AI Double Dip report. Now let's take a look at the full NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint. You're going to get the AI Double Dip report, NVIDIA's dividend hack, the live trading class every month where we bring in cash flow every time we meet, plus the NVIDIA 5-time challenge updates, the NVIDIA 5-year outlook, the full suite of notes and recordings from the master class and the live monthly sessions. I can't believe how much value we've been able to pack into this thing in just a week since learning about NVIDIA's stock split. And by now, you're probably wondering, how much is it going to cost to join the NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint? And now I'm going to get to that in a second, and I think you're going to be very, very happy. But first, let me throw in one more bonus on here. You see, when you're trading the NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint, you're going to need a way to help you keep track of all the money your trades have the potential to make. And my team and I have built the perfect solution. What these are some custom-made yield calculators. Now, this strategy, it took a lot of time to write out and figure out which exact trade you're going to take, right? And as you may know, I flunked 9th grade math. I don't like doing all that math. And that might not sound sexy, giving you a calculator or some of these other bonus reports, but let me tell you that these are solid gold for traders. I couldn't even do any trading like I do now without them. Okay. And through the years, I've had a ton of traders tell me they struggle to keep track of these income trades. So I had a team of programmers build these calculators so that you never have to do that long form legwork. All you do is plug in 4 numbers. Okay. You plug in the call option price, the number of contracts, even if it's just one, the stock price, and the strike price, right? So that tells you, you buy 100 shares. That's what you need to sell one call. That's going to cost you $11,000 or $5,500 on margin. You're going to receive $350 cash instantly. That's 3.18% if you don't get called out. It's 6.36% in a month. You're going to get called out, you make an extra $1,000. That's a yield of 9% on margin. That's 18%. Yeah, in 30 to 40 days. You see how I'm going to make that money now? And it spits out all the information you need when you just type in those four numbers. And I use these calculators pretty much every single day I trade, but I'm giving you two of my favorites for free today to make this whole thing super easy for you, like child's play. And you can start using them today when you join the NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint. Now, look at everything you get, all of that. This is a dizzying amount of stuff for one program. So let's get to the big question, which is cost. And I have no doubt I could charge big wigs and fat cats a pretty penny for all this. I know that because I'm already getting a lot of calls from pro traders saying, Jack, what are you going to do with this? And I'm not telling them. I'm saving this for the mom and pops. I'm saving my strategy for the little guy. I'm not sharing this with Wall Street. I'm not sharing this with hedge fund guys. You know, they can go do whatever they want. This is for me and you. And in fact, when I first came up with the idea for the cash generation blueprint, I went to my publisher, Nate, and I told him the idea and suggest we charge $4,997, which I think is a smoking hot deal. And if I charged $4,997 the first time I offered the Google Cash blueprint, I have no question that every single person would have gotten their money's worth and then some. But the more I thought about this generational opportunity we have here, the more I was convinced I needed to make sure this is accessible to everybody. You see, I left Wall Street to bring their techniques to the little guy, the retail trader, who gets priced out of most of these kind of opportunities. And the stock split on Nvidia finally gives everyday traders a chance to trade one of the most powerful strategies available to anyone with a brokerage account on what I would consider the top stock on the planet right now. So whether you have a big or small account, I don't want to price you out of this opportunity. That's why today I'm not asking $4,997, not $2,500, not $1,497, not even $997. I truly do not want the cost to be a barrier for you. So today, the founding members of the brand new NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint can lock in their membership spot for just $497. Now, before I drop the link, let me make it just a little bit better. $497 to access everything you see here should be an absolute no-brainer, in my opinion. I hope you can agree with that because it is. You get 12 months of trades, 12 months of live classes, and all the bonuses, the recordings, all the reports, everything. But I'm so jacked up about this opportunity that I want to sweeten the pot just a bit more. Because I've told you that NVIDIA is a crown jewel stock for at least the next 5 years, and I really think a lot longer than that. So I want to help you get started by putting the cost of your first share of NVIDIA on me. Now, when we planned this briefing last week, NVIDIA was expected to be priced around $112 a share after the split. So if you lock in your founding access today, which is what I want you to do, I'm going to yank another $112 off this already dirt cheap price for you. And I want you to consider it my way of gifting you the cost of one share of what I consider the world's top stock, meaning it'll cost $385 to claim your founding spot and tap into all this right now. Just $385. Everybody needs to get in on this today because the action's happening today at 3. Now, like I said, our team has set this up last week before NVIDIA ripped a bit higher, so I came up just a bit shy of the full share. But that kind of movement is exactly why NVIDIA is such a unique opportunity for us right now. So get in on this right now. Just go to jackcartertrading.com/NVDA to claim your spot right now. You get the AI double dip report, NVIDIA's dividend hack, the yield calculators, the live trading classes every month, the NVIDIA 5-time challenge update, the NVIDIA 5-year outlook, and a full suite of notes and recordings from the workshops. Or you can give us a call, pick up the phone, have your credit card ready, and give us a call, 308-258-5872, then press 1 for our amazing sales team. Now, if the lines are busy and the order page is frozen for whatever reason, too many people hitting it at one time, just put your name and your phone number in the chat, and our great sales team will get you locked in on this incredible deal. So to join the NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint, go to jackcartertrading.com/NVDA or have your credit card ready and call us at 308-258-5872. Then press 1 to speak to an expert and get all your questions answered and get set up. And while you're securing your spot, I have one more thing you should know, because I know even with everything I've taught you today, there's still going to be some skeptics in the crowd. Jack, if this is so great, why isn't everybody doing it? Because everybody doesn't know Jack. That's why. But more importantly, I've already told you that most folks don't know anything about this approach at all. And they're going to follow the dumb money approach. I'm already seeing it happen. We're on the road less taken, but better paved. But don't just take my word for it either way, that I've got you covered either way. You see, it takes a while to evaluate a strategy like this. And you can get into 3 trades in 5 days and you still can't decide if you like it. Three trades in 5 days isn't enough time for you to evaluate anything. So for everybody here, I'm offering a 365-day full satisfaction guarantee. And nobody else does this, right? Because they don't know for sure what they're telling you is going to work. Now, I know it is. That's why I don't want you to worry about your decision to buy today. Decide a year from now if it was worth it to you. Take 365 days, not some cheap 7-day trial or some 30-day trial that you'll forget about. I'll give you a whole year because I don't want you to worry about anything. I'm going to put the stress of delivering on me and take it off of you. So it works like this. If you join today, which is what I want you to do, you're taking a spot from someone else who might want one. And I only ask one thing in return, and that's you ride with me for all 12 months. Join the program, come to the classes, take the trades, or just paper trade them, or just watch how I make money every month. Read the reports, use the program like a kid uses a bike. Because that's the only way you're going to know if it's a great fit for you. You got to ride. So ride with me for a year. But here's my end of the bargain, okay? I believe NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint will change the way the vast majority of folks who join here today will look at the market. I already know that. But I don't want the other tiny fraction to feel trapped in a program that doesn't work for them. So if you hold up your part of the deal and at the end of your first year, you're not fully, completely overwhelmed and blown away by how much money you made, even if you make $108,000 or more or $10,000, if you're not blown away at the end of the year, I've authorized my team to refund every penny that you spent to join, and we'll part ways as friends. That's the fully satisfied guarantee. Now, I'm asking you to go with me on this, and most of you learn how to trade in a way you've never traded before, in a way where you can see cash hit your account every month. So the fully satisfied guarantee is the right thing for me to do to make sure you can jump in with 2 feet and have zero doubts or worries. And it's all just $385 to lock in all of it. But this founding members deal won't last long. You see, once our first trade is in the books, so is this deal. That's today, all right? So act now to claim your founding membership. Go to jackcartertrading.com/NVDA or have your credit card ready. Give us a call, 308-258-5872. Then press 1. You'll speak to one of our great experts, get all your questions answered, get a username and password, and join me. And you need to join now because that way you'll be ready for our first class, which is today, June 10th at 3 p.m. What's going to happen during that class today, June 10th? Are we just going to go, oh, look at NVIDIA. Isn't that trading real nice? Oh. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to bring in cash flow. We're going to use NVIDIA as an asset to create cash flow today at 3 p.m. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But remember, you don't have to wait to get started targeting cash today. You can join right now. You got the 2 reports in your members area to help you, and you can jump on these stocks today if you want to. Everything is just $385 with the $385 with a 365-day full satisfaction guarantee, the AI double dip report, NVIDIA's dividend hack, 2 yield calculators, the live trading classes every month, NVIDIA's 5-time challenge update, the 5-year outlook, the full suites of notes and recordings. You get it all. Now, after you join the Cash Blueprint today, do not close the next page because I created a special opportunity just for NVIDIA Cash Generation Blueprint members. Now, when I launched the Google Blueprint, I never could have anticipated the meteoric rise of NVIDIA. It wasn't even on my radar. I didn't even know we'd be here with another generational opportunity at trading a stock split right in front of us. Now, I believe NVIDIA is the best opportunity the markets could possibly give us right now. But what about a year from now? What about 18 months from now? What about 2 years from now? There could be another perfect opportunity for a blueprint setup that we don't even know about yet. And if it comes along, I want you to be able to trade it right alongside me because I'm going to trade it. So I've created a Cash Blueprint Elite. This is a VIP membership that locks in permanent access to every blueprint opportunity forever. Anyone that comes down the pike, we don't even know about it yet, but if it comes up, you'll get in on it forever. And I think you're going to love the price. Now, read the info on the next page after you join and see if it's a good fit for you. And oh yeah, if you join Cash Blueprint Elite, you unlock instant access to our ongoing Google Cash Generation Blueprint that we're doing every month. It's like an immediate double dip into this powerful strategy. So I'd encourage you to claim your membership today. Now, I know we have a ton of questions in the chat, but before I get there, I'm going to answer some of the most common questions I know is going to pop up. Then I'm going to open up the chat and answer your live questions today. Now, number one, when will NVIDIA stock be cheaper? Now. It happened now. How much money will I need? Well, the stock split makes this accessible to anybody who can afford 100 shares of NVIDIA at this new reduced price. So for most folks, that could be as low as $6,000 on margin. Question 3, when is our masterclass in first trade? Well, we're going to get together live today at 3 p.m. and I cannot wait. Because why can't I wait? Because I'm going to be making money too. I'm going to be showing you how to do it. And if you want to make the exact same money I'm making or part of that, join me because it's coming. It's coming in. It's coming in. I got the rake out right there. We're going to be raking in the money. Now, why do you love NVIDIA so much and what's your long-term outlook? Well, I love this stock mostly because of the team running it. Great people. I also love it because of the technology they're in, right? And I also love it because if you look at AI like a gold rush, which it is, and if you look at the gold rush that we did have, it wasn't the gold miners that made the money. It was the guys selling the picks and shovels and axes that made the money, right? Levi's jeans. Levi, they're still around. You see what I'm saying? It's the guys supplying the guys in the gold rush that are making all the money. Now, believe it or not, NVIDIA, they don't have any AI. They don't do AI. They make chips so other companies can develop AI. Coca-Cola is heavily into AI, right? JP Morgan, heavily into NVIDIA. That's why I love it. And the other thing I love about it is you're going to read, and maybe are reading, where other companies are going to collaborate and team up, Microsoft and Google or whatever, to make a chip. That's awesome. It's not going to be as good as NVIDIA's chip. They even know that, right? Here's the other thing I love about it is NVIDIA is not the only one making chips for AI. AMD's making them, other companies are making them, but they make the best chip, okay? And the other thing I love about them is the demand is overwhelming their supply. They can't even make enough of it. If you listen closely to this guy that runs it, Jensen Huang, he said, we cannot keep up with the demand, right? We can't fulfill the orders. Right? He also said that NVIDIA is in a race with itself. I love that. They have a stranglehold on AI right now, and they don't do AI. But it's the companies that are getting into this, not just to make chat GPTs and crap like that. It's how can we make more money using AI? How can we use AI's predictive analysis? How can we use AI with our customers? How can we use all this? It's the biggest boom. This thing makes the invention of the internet look like nothing, right? This is AI is so much bigger. The opportunity we have here is really generational. And I could go on and on and on about NVIDIA, and I will if you want me to later, but not now. So we have any other cash generating tips for us? You bet I will. Jack's got your back, and I got some tricks up my sleeve that you're going to love. Ooh, question 6. What if you're wrong and NVIDIA goes down? Hey, it might go down. I'll tell you a quick story. When we did the Google cash generation blueprint after Google split, it split at 116 bucks a share. That's where we started. It went all the way down to 88 bucks. So why didn't anybody lose a bunch of money on that? Well, it's because the stock can go down and you still can make cash flow every month, right? That's the beauty of it. You don't have to lose money like everybody else. So I'm not worried about it if NVIDIA goes down. I expect it to go up and down. It's not going to just go straight up. But if I'm wrong, which I have been, I mean, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. But if I am wrong and NVIDIA goes down, it can go down. It ain't going to matter one bit. And I'm going to explain all of that during our masterclass. So what's in the bonus reports? Well, you're going to love them. They cover some awesome additional opportunities to play alongside NVIDIA if you want. One epic dividend play and an amazing AI stock hedge. So how does this cash blueprint elite work? Well, this is the best value, and this is the one you want. You're going to get instant access to our sister class, the Google Cash Generation Blueprint, where every single person in that class has made money. I can't say that about any other program or service or anything anybody else has, but I can tell you, every single person. Wouldn't you like to have some cash flow hit your account? Yeah. Well, that's the best value. You're going to get instant access to our sister class, the Google Cash Generation Blueprint, and you're going to get access to any other future blueprint opportunities we find that come up. I already got my eyeball on one, and I know you're going to love that one too. So what about the guys and gals that are already in the Google Cash members? Well, you know I'm going to take care of you because Jack always has your back. So call the phone line, 308-258-5872. Tell them you want the Jack special on the Cash Generation Elite, and they'll take care of you. That's the deal you want. You get everything here. It's just $385, the AI double dip report, NVIDIA's dividend hack, the 2 yield calculators, the live trading classes, the NVIDIA 5-time challenge update, the NVIDIA 5-year outlook, and the full suite of recordings and notes from the masterclass, all for just $385. This is the deal you want. If you like seeing money hit your account, get this, because that's all that's going to happen constantly. All right. Now I'm going to open up the chat. Option level 1 is needed. Just tell your broker you want to trade options. All right, Bob. Good. Let me scroll down here. Appreciate your ever positive attitude, Jack. It's encouraging to the rest of us. Yeah, I am, JF. I'm extremely positive. You know, I've been trading stocks a long time. If you ask Uncle Jesse, how long has Jack been trading stocks? He'll say it like this. He'll say, Jack's been trading stocks since Moby Dick were a sardine. That's kind of funny. But I've had a positive attitude the whole time, and I've never been this excited about an opportunity. So I'm glad you say you appreciate my ever positive attitude and that it's encouraging, because you should be encouraged. This stuff doesn't come down the pike every day, okay? It doesn't, which is why you want to take advantage of it now while it's still going on. Yeah. Hello, Babette. Yeah, Bob's saying 131.7 million have already traded today. Yep, we'll have a replay. Yeah, put your name and phone number in the chat if you want to get locked in on this. I don't know how NVIDIA did in the Asian market last night, Benjamin. I do not look at Asian markets. I could care less about what happens outside of the US. Yeah, you need 100 shares of NVIDIA. No. Denise says, Jack, I really need to know how much will the trade cost once we get our NVIDIA shares. It won't cost anything. We're not buying any options, anything. You need that 100 shares of stock. That's all you need. Jerry, you're all set. Jerry says, I just joined. What else must I do? You must join me today at 3. Yep, we're going to have a replay. Frank, we're not selling naked calls. That's highly dangerous. Timothy Lee, I gave you a 365-day guarantee. He says, Jack, any guarantee? Yeah. Okay, Rich, put your phone number in here if you didn't get your link to join. If you've joined and didn't get your welcome email link, look in your spam or junk folder, but give us a call. I mean, we got the best team in the world and we want you happy. Our whole goal of the whole company is happy customers. So Donna, I wouldn't really worry about doing anything before the class. I just go through that material and then join me on the class because I'm going to explain everything from soup to nuts today at 3. So yeah, Rich, what is your email and phone? We want to make sure we got you clean. If you joined and did not get your welcome email. Options level 1 is all you need. Just tell your broker that's what you want. All right, Tom, give us a call and find out about that elite. We'll get you set up. Yeah, if you have Google generation, cash generation blueprint, and you want this, just call that number 308-258-5872 and tell them you want the Jack special. Maybe even say it like that. I want the Jack special. Nope, we're not buying any calls. I can't say this a million times. I'm going to say it one time. We are not buying any options, okay? You need to buy 100 shares of Nvidia. That's all. That's it. Yep, Zoom you can. If you got level 2, all you need is level 1. Nope, surrender. This isn't like any other thing like that. All right, Rick, give us your email and your phone number. I'll make sure you get the class at 11 if you just joined. Now, Tom, see here, Tom brings up this thing, and this is a thing that people just, I don't like this. He says, can we use a leap instead of buying a stock? Well, you could, but that's not a smart thing to do. You know, all these people, everybody wants a shortcut to doing the real thing, to do the right thing. No, they don't want to do the right thing. They want to do a shortcut. What's the shortcut? To buy a leap is a long-term option and use that as the stock instead of the stock. Now, why is that a bad idea? I know if you go on the YouTubes and the interwebs, people talk about buying a leap and instead of the stock and blah, blah, blah. The problem is that a leap is an option, okay? And an option is going to go down in value. Time decay is going to eat away at that thing over time. And a leap doesn't pay a dividend. So everybody's looking for that shortcut and that less expensive way to maybe do something, but that won't work. So I never one time said you could buy a leap, Tom. I never used the word leap. So you can't buy the leap instead. You need 100 shares of Nvidia today. Okay? That's it. Now, Marion says to make your goal of 108,000 per year trading once a month, what is your investment per month? Will 100 shares a month create 108,000? No, 100 shares will not create 108,000. I'm using 30 contracts. Okay, that's on 3,000 shares. So to make my goal of 108 trading once a month, what is your investment per month? I don't have an investment per month. I'm using that position in Nvidia. I'm using that position every month. I'm not buying anymore. I'm using that position to create cash flow every month from that position. So I don't make a new investment every month. I just use the same position I have every month to create cash flow. Yep, 100 shares at the split price, 100 today. Robinhood will work, but Cameron, let's make sure you get your welcome email to join me. Yeah, Franklin's saying that the website is not responding. That happened. That happens when like 1,000 people hit the website to buy at the same time. Something just freezes up. All right, Cameron, you talking to Chad? Chad's excellent. He'll help you. All right, Sam, how you get into the member site? We will call you back, or my team will call you or email you. Having issues ordering, Ray's saying. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, get in on this, okay? And just get in on it. Just if you don't like it after a year, let me know. I'll give you your money back. But Marion, I'm using 30 contracts because I have 5,000 shares. Okay. And I'm not bragging or boasting. I'm just saying that it's been a long time of building that position. So out of my 5,000 shares, I could use 50 contracts, but I'm only using 30 contracts. And you don't have to do that. Okay. But that's what I'm doing. I recommend you use one contract. That's why I say just get 100 shares of NVIDIA today before our 3 o'clock meeting. So just one contract. You need 100 shares for one contract. You need to own 100 shares of NVIDIA. You don't have to buy any more every month. You're going to just use that same position to create cash flow every month. So think of it as NVIDIA is the asset that you're going to use to create cash flow. Okay. You don't need to keep buying NVIDIA every month. We don't buy anything. After you buy this NVIDIA, you don't buy any options, no stocks, nothing. But you need that 100 shares to get on board with the program. And you're going to love it. We're hours away from taking in what could be the biggest cash haul I've ever taken in on options. You're going to get to see it. Yeah, I'm going to sell 30 contracts today at 3 o'clock, but not before you get a chance to do it with me. Okay. The market's big enough for everybody. If all of us get into this, it's not going to do anything to the options prices. The options market is huge. I saw one guy place a $500,000 trade, and that's how liquid the options price didn't move. Right. So you can do a lot on these and not worry about it. But you got to get in. Right. So when you saw all those other people write in and told me how much money they had made, again, you have just the same talent and ability that they had. The only difference is they took action. Now here's your chance to take action. So if you like seeing money hit your account every month, then you got to get in on this because we're hours away from what's going to be the biggest cash haul. And this is just the start. Imagine we do this every month for years. It's going to be a joke. That $385 is going to be the best investment you ever made. Yep, I'm explain all that. Shentilal and Rishi. I'm going to explain it all today at 3. So, Buck, you got to talk to our customer service. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I'm not sure how that deal works. But they know 308-258-5872. Hey, that's the best group of people you're ever going to talk to is those people at 308-258-5872. It's not like we subcontracted out our customer service to some country outside the US and they don't even know why you're calling when you call. That's not how it is. These people are right here in the United States. They're not really customer service people. They're more like program educators, right? They know Jack. They know what's going on, right? It's not like they don't know what's going on. They know. They will help you. They are fully trained. It's the best group of people you're ever going to speak to. And if you don't believe me, just pick up the phone and call them. 308-258-5872. They'll get you all set up. Or if you want them to call you back, put your name and phone number in the chat and they will get you set up before our 3 o'clock meeting. That's where we're going to lay it all out. I got some very specific rules that I'm going to embed into your brain today at 3 o'clock. And I'm going to go over this strategy. That's why we're going to spend about an hour or more talking about this today, because it's going to be a real eye opener for you, exactly how we do this. Now, people ask, how was it that you did the Google Cash Generation Blueprint and everybody made money? How is that? Well, I'm going to explain that. They say, how is it that when you did the Cash Generation Blueprint on Google, the stock went from 116 to 88 and then back up to where it is now and nobody lost any money? Well, I'm going to explain that too. That's why this is very, very, very hard to lose money on, right? It's very hard to screw this up. Yeah, Ray, put your phone number in. The website froze. We got so many people hitting the order page that it might lock it up. So put your name and phone number in the chat. No one can see it. My team can see it, and we will get you all set up, which is what you want to be. This is going to be a never-ending stream of cash hitting your account. Just join Jack and watch it happen. I'll be on 3 o'clock, and I can't wait. I hope you can't either. Adios, amigos.